The second semester Master of Social Work from the Northeast Institute of Social Sciences and Research went on a rural came to Zapami village under Peg district from 31st January to 11 February 2025 to gain a practical exposure to real life community settings. The rural camp was conducted under the theme Understanding Tribal Communities and Environment. Okay, so background of the village. Zapami village is one of the Kuzami Naga villages of the Chagasan tribe under the Tero subdivision of Peg district. It is about 53 kilometers away from Kohima, the capital of Nagaland, and the term Zapami is derived from the word Zipami, and it was basically a referential term by which Z means left, Pa means by the side, and Mi means people. So in short, Zapami refers to people living by the side of the lake, living by the side of the lake. And the Zapami ancestors migrated from Makel and settled in Leshuni. After the settlement in Leshuni, Zapami traced its origin from Leshuni village, which is believed to be one of the legendary Naga ancestral villages. And the first two ancestor couple were Hu Ketsu and his wife Meji Keshu, and the second couple are Hu Wepo and his wife Meji Kao. Profile of the village. Zapami village had a population of 2,096 and 388 households, according to 2020 census. The village emphasized the ceremonies with the terrace paddy field, winter fields, and a clean kitchen garden. The community primarily engaged in farming for their livelihood. Activities carried out. Cleanliness drive. On 1st February 2025, a cleanliness drive was conducted at rural campsite. The training were divided into 3 groups. Each were assigned between different areas around the campus. Tree plantation. On 1st February 2025, the tree plantation was carried out at Zapami Village Community Cemetery in collaboration with Zapami Village Council. Home visit. And on 1st February 2025, home visit was conducted with training divided into 3 groups. The objective of home visit was to learn about the village lifestyle and to build a rapport. Health and hygiene. An awareness program was conducted with the training aimed to inculcate the ideas about the importance of personal hygiene, sanitation, and disease prevention to improve overall in the communities. Child welfare. The MSW second semester also organized a child welfare program to inculcate the village children about good touch and bad touch. The training also raised an awareness about right to education and also about child labor. Rural Cancer Day. MSW second semester in collaboration with Primary Health Center Zapami Village under Peg District collaborated and observed World Cancer Day. By observing World Cancer Day, the free medical checkups and distributions of medical were given to the communities. This is the end of my presentation. Now I give time to my fellow presenters to continue the presentation. Thank you.
a very good bonding to one another. So continuing my presentation, I'll start with the PRA, which is Participatory Rural Appraisal. As we all know, this is one of the most important component of social work and community development, because if one has to understand the community as a whole, we have to conduct this PRA session so that we can gather the information about the community, about the resources they avail, and uh, how do they use their resources and carry out their lifestyle. So, we as a team, on February 1st, we conducted a transit walk, which we walked all around the village, and we got to see the museum, we got to understand their culture, we could understand the lifestyle of the villages and all. So, during this participatory rural appraisal, we were able to carry out only 3 mappings, which are social mapping, resource mapping, and seasonal calendar. Now, the next point or the next activity which we carried out was the self-help group, and it was an interaction between the trainees and the SSG group members. So the very aim of this group was to promote financial independence, especially among the women, and how they can be independent and not be dependent on their husbands or their partners. And from these things, they were able to educate themselves, and they were able to buy a vehicle from the loan they get in this self-help group. And this SSG in this village supported the education, healthcare, and sanitation programs in that village. And SSGs also create income generating opportunities, reducing dependence on external aid. Now, the next activity which we conducted was do-it-yourself DIY activities. This was mainly for the children out there, and we created paper bags, jewelries, and scrunchies out of scratch, and from this, what we felt like the children can continue making these jewelries in their future instead of buying from other stores and everything. Now the next activity was the shiitake cultivation. The trainees met Dr. Sasan Longkumar, who introduced the shiitake cultivation, and it's the only laboratory in the state. So the climate required for this shiitake mushroom cultivation is 7 degrees to 25 degrees Celsius, and it should be indirect heat, sunlight, and free air movement. If you are willing to buy these mushrooms, the fresh mushroom is rupees 400 per kg, and the dry shiitake mushroom is rupees 2,500 per kg. So the mushrooms are exported to Mitsuro, Kohima, and Himalayan. And we also conducted sports and cultural events. Sports and cultural events was a major success because the villagers, especially the children, they came and attended, and they were friendly matches conducted between our college and the children out there. And we also had a cultural event on the last day of our rural camp, where we had dance performances, speeches from the villagers and by our Reverend Father Jeremy. And to sum it up, it was a very successful event. Now the next thing is stinging natural weaving. So this is something we have known for the first time, that we can make a dress out of a plant. So this plant is, so the dress is called Webo. It's the theme dress for the Sabami Cultural Day and Women's Day. Webo signifies signifies the beginning of the village and bear the symbol of equality in Sapami village. Equality in terms of gender, socio-economic and cultural difference across all age and walk of life. So this whole process of making is 2 or 3 papers. It will take 1 year to make, and then it undergoes to various cleaning process, and then and the price of one paper is rupees 28,000, which is actually very costly, and women all over the village they do wear this. Now the observation which we observe is collaborative spirit. A notable sense of cooperation was observed among the trainees. In this point, I would like to mention is that every trainee was this was collaborative spirit, engaged participation, sustainable practices, cleanliness and hygiene in the village, and community cohesion. Strong work ethic, cultural richness, creativity and innovation helping hands. Now the learning about the trainees is, the trainees learned about the history, background and lifestyle traditions of the Sapami village. The trainees also identified the government schemes and the effectiveness in Sapami village. The trainees learned about the importance of cooperation, coordination, teamwork and the management, time management. The trainees learned the application of PRA tools. The trainees learned about the major health problems and issues faced by the community members of Sapami village. The trainees learned about the utilization of resources that are available in the village. The trainees enhanced their communication skills, observation skills, and rapport ability to mobilization. Now, when I talk about major challenges are scheduling conflicts. It was very difficult to align the availability among the participants, as most of the villages used to go for farming, and it was very difficult to communicate with them. And second point is language barrier. Here, language barrier was we weren't able to collect data or communication, because what we are trying to explain to them, they wouldn't understand, and even though they understand Arabic, the problem was that they weren't able to communicate it out. So there was a huge communication barrier. And the third is coping with extreme cold weather. So those who are staying in the town areas faced a very major challenge, that was the cold weather, because it was freezing from night, and then there was extreme wind also. Now, poor time management, struggling to prioritize tasks and meet deadlines effectively. Extended program duration, programs running longer than expected, leading to fatigue or disengagement. Mobilizing people, difficulty in gathering and motivating individuals for a common cause. So, I would like to highlight this point is, the problem which we had was, we used to go for mobilization only when the villages were out for field. That's why we couldn't do the mobilization. Reflection on the rural camp as a community village. The first point is community participation and collective impact, skill development, leadership development, cultural.
Since you said that you are delighted to improve and the system was united. Number 2 is you have also mentioned about the health problem in the village, the major health problem. So I want to know what's your first question. And the third one is we have listed also many challenges. So how did you overcome those challenges? Okay, so you have the question.
Thank you, Madam, for your question. Regarding the home visit, the main objective of home visit is like to visit them and like to observe and learn from them, and then also to build a rapport between their communities and trainers. And then the next question is like the major diseases that are facing the population is common cold and fever, and then malaria and typhoid.
or how are they dealing with it?
Okay, so the villagers, they have this primary health center. So they were provided like some basic medicals. So they put their sanitary checkups, and then after that they were sent to the community health center medicine cultural.
The generation community of health challenges.
We all came with these challenges because the main objective of rural camp is to experience the life of the villages. So even though there were so many complaints about the weather, about the water, about the food, but we just try to adapt and we try to think on the point of view of the villages, how are they living. So we should also able to adapt these changes, and then for the communication barrier, even though some of our classmates they don't speak in Nagamis, so even though we don't speak, we just communicate with them through smiles or like sign language. We just and two of my classmates are from this Chakasang area, so we try to learn their language, like basic words like hi, thank you, and all. So whenever we meet them, we say hi and thank you in their language. So that's how we maintain the communication with the villages. Thank you. Any more questions?
Any questions from the other group?
Thank you so much for the presentation. My question is for anybody in country. So, what was your experience and learning during the process of the area? And then another question is you might have faced some problems or conflict of ideas among the classmates. So, how did you overcome those challenges?
Regarding the conflict within the group members, we just try to talk it out. We had a discussion, or instead of just making it worse, we try to identify a solution and work according to it. Now, for the PRA, I would request those who will participate in the PRA session to share your report. So, since me and my fellow presenter, we were in the seasonal calendar, we learned about their cultivation, about the harvest, about the cultivation, and what are the common diseases in the villages they face, and then the migration season, when do the people move out from the Sapami village, or when do they come, especially the children studying outside Sapami, when do they come for vacation and all. So these are some of the major learnings we learned during the seasonal calendar. Anyone from the resource mapping or social mapping can share their views.